D23 happened, and I have thoughts. Before I continue, I just want to say it won't be about the announcements that have been made on D23. It's just something that I thought of to make this video that popped up in my mind. But I will mention the main highlights of D23 for me. First of all, Incredibles 3, directed by Brad Bird, it will be coming out in a few years. That caught everybody's surprise, including myself. I love Incredibles. I really liked Incredibles 2. I cannot wait to see it. I think it's going to be really good. I find it interesting that Brad Bird is coming back, because I heard he was doing a Ray Gunn movie, but I guess it's not working out. I mean, there's drama and Skydance and Paramount and Netflix, yeah, entertainment business. Another announcement, Avatar 3, now titled Ash and Fire as the subtitle. And some of the images I saw are stunning. I love the world building and visual design of the first two Avatar films. I'm so giddy to see that. And then another anticipated film, Zootopia 2. Actually between Avatar 3 and Zootopia 2, which one is I'm more excited for next year? Ask me any day, it'll be either or, because on one hand, Ash and Fire is directed by James Cameron. I think he's an absolute master. On the other hand, Zootopia 2 is a sequel to one of my personal favorite films. If you've been on my Letterboxd account, you know that fact already. For Zootopia 2, Nick and Judy, Jennifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman are back. Love the voice acting and some of the returning characters. Reptiles it would be focused on, but the main big event for Zootopia 2 that made me giddy was Ke Quan. And if I pronounced his name correctly, I'm sorry, but Ke Quan, the guy who was in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and The Goonies, and made a splash comeback with Everything Everywhere All at Once and won an Oscar. This is a great story. I am so proud of him. Rarely do you get actors who start out very well, then you don't hear a lot about, and then all of a sudden you've heard about them because of a big hit. Leslie Nielsen, who was in Airplane: The Naked Gun. You know, you might have heard him for the Forbidden Planet, but then it was Airplane that made him a star. And Ke Quan became an instant success with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I loved his performance. And it's great. I am so proud of him. Gains a lot of work. Loki season 2, he was one of my favorite parts. And there's also, I heard Kung Fu Panda 4, he was pretty good in that. I have not yet seen that film, so I can't say anything about that movie. But Zootopia 2, as Gary the Snake, I almost lost my mind. I cannot imagine. I can't imagine. I mean, him. He always had a personality, very bubbly and excited. Just like a great kid and I think Ke Quan is a perfect fit for him. And that, here's the thing. I'm already anticipating for Zootopia 2 because it's a sequel to one of my personal favorites, which is the original film, one of the highest grossing original films of all time. And this is what I wanted to talk about, because D23, there were a lot of announcements in terms of announcements to already pre-existing IP. Star Wars, Marvel MCU, Pixar. Actually, there was only 2 original films, but one was announced for the first time called Hoppers, which is an insane idea. I wonder who the hell thought about that idea, but congrats for getting that film in development. I cannot wait to see it once it's on the big screen. I would support Pixar. I would support anything for crazy ideas. But going back to the topic, the reason why I wanted to make this video is to tell my thoughts about when something is exciting. Sure, a lot of them are sequels, but there are times where there were sequels, follow-ups that, like, okay, I'll keep an eye on that, but not quite interested. Mufasa, The Lion King. It's a prequel to a remake I've not yet seen. Can't say anything about the remake. Mufasa sounds like a good idea about the prequel story of Mufasa himself. I saw the new trailer. It looks very well. I can't believe how the backgrounds look so pitch perfect. I mean, hey, Avatar has competition for once for backgrounds, but the idea doesn't interest me as much. It could be because I'm not a diehard fan of The Lion King. It could be that. Whereas Zootopia 2, I am a diehard fan of Zootopia. Crying out loud, I got the art book, The Art of Zootopia, great look at, and I've been writing stories for years involving foxes with long bushy tails. But with that one, reptiles, people have been asking, fans specifically have been asking, what about reptiles and these other species of creatures? You know, we get mammals. Is this some kind of plot hole? Well, it sounds like they're finally answering that question. So that's like a new idea already. I mean, you could have the sequel just be, oh, another case, but this time it's a case involving reptiles. And of course, you got Ke Huy Quan. A lot of people say movie stars are dead. That is debatable because a lot of people came to Deadpool Wolverine. Part of the reason is because of Ryan Reynolds, but especially Hugh Jackman. A lot of people love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think he did a fantastic job. I haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine. I just think Hugh Jackman, from what I've seen with the other X-Men movies, he's been very good, and everybody, thinks that it's just perfect casting. I think people will still see a movie based on a star like Leonardo DiCaprio. I would love to see anything with Lily Gladstone if I can. I think she was phenomenal in Killers of the Flower Moon. I hope she gets a lot more projects into Ke Huy Quan. Here's the thing, I grew up with the Goonies, probably the most rewatched movie I've ever seen, which is crazy to me, but it is. It's instantly rewatchable, and he played Dada, and I remember before Everything Everywhere All at Once, he started out, Temple of Doom, and Great Kid, and Goonies, and then Eye for Nothing. Like, what happened to this kid? And apparently there was nothing that you could find, but then he saw Crazy Rich Asians, and he's like, you know what? I'm going back. And Why Everything Everywhere All Once was not the first film since he came back. It was some other Netflix movie. It was that the Oscar Best Picture winner that made everyone say, "Hey, I want to hire that guy. He is a phenomenal actor, and he is such weight and personality. It's definitely not Oscar bait." I think everyone was surprised that he got an Oscar nomination, even a win. And it's so great. I mean, but I am going back off topic. What I'm trying to say is there are certain ideas that come to a premise, and they are exciting because there's something new. Who knew Ke Huy Quan would be voicing a Disney anime character? I want it. I mean, that's a perfect fit, But then you got Avatar, Ash and Fire. Now, I don't know about you, but so far all I know is that it's going to be is a sequel to The Way of Water that was filmed back to back. Michelle Yeoh's going to be a supporting character. Let's think about all the connections. I don't know how big of a role she really is, but she got my interest. There are certain ideas that catch people's interest because it's fresh, it's new. For example, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. They have new ideas, new multiverses, new cast of characters, new everything, and it's not. I think what people mean about we want original movies more than sequels, prequels, reboots, and remakes. I think they're asking for new ways to elevate a story. Yes, there are sequels that rehash the same thing, but you also have sequels that add a new taste to them. A few months ago was the release of Inside Out 2, and even though I was excited because it's Pixar, I love Pixar, I wasn't too crazy about the idea because I was like, I love the original movies. Then I saw the film. Well, before then I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, this is exciting. Only the teaser and the first trailer. I did not see the final trailer. I'm glad I did because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. But Inside Out 2, they added anxiety, new emotions. They explore them. Something that the first film didn't. Not as a negative, but I'm just saying it added something new. It added like Riley, going through her new teenage life, and it's something that people loved because it was not a total rehash. There were familiar elements, but you got the new emotions. You can have a sequel with rehash elements, but you have to have something new that makes it worthwhile. One of the more infamous sequels is Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. It's the same as the first movie. The difference is he's in New York, and they actually play around with the idea in New York. Kevin McAllister walking around at night. It's scary to him. Tim Curry adds a new, fresh personality to it. When you do a follow-up to a movie, you have to have something interesting. And this also applies to original movies, because just because it's original does not mean the ideas are original. I'm going to take an example of Strange World. You may like it, you may not like it. I, unfortunately, was not a fan of it, but I was intrigued by it when it was first announced. But looking back at it, it's like, it could have been done better. I mean, it's a sci-fi, pulpy adventure, and that caught my interest because I'm into science fiction, not like a Quinn's Ideas kind of guy, not diehard of him, but I was interested. But if I was a guy walking there now, and go back in time, I would tell them, what would be the twist? Well, there was a twist mentioned towards the third act that could have been, as Dan Moore said in his review, could have been the main event, not kept as a twist. It would have been be interesting, like in a space. We also got Wish. Wish is also an original movie that a lot of people hate. I don't hate it. I didn't like it, but I appreciate its efforts and its risk as in trying new things, and it just didn't work out. It's just some ideas did not work out. And even though it was supposed to be the 100th anniversary of Walt Disney Animation, not just Walt Disney, the Walt Disney Company, it was like, now what? What else is there? Because the characters doesn't seem interesting. I'm not a fan of the animation style. And when you do new things, it's a wild card in terms of what people will like and will not like. It's just more of what people are interested. Sean Chandler, if you've been watching his channel, Sean Chandler talks about, I've seen a few clips of him, and he said, a brilliant idea, it's easier to sell a product or a film if it has a great idea. And original films, I think, need a lot of great ideas. Hoppers is a new Pixar film coming out in a few years. That idea is insane. I cannot think of any other ideas like that. It already stands out. Now, of course, the other announcements from follow-up projects always stands out, like Incredibles 3, because people love them. But Hoppers, I think people are going to be talking a lot about it if it goes well. I don't know how it's going to go. I think it would be very good. I'm not sure if it would be Pixar's best. I don't know if it's going to be one of those "it bet more than it could chew" movies, but it already caught my attention. It already is going around my brain. One of the sequels that has been announced a long time ago, but brought up again, was Toy Story 5. I love the Toy Story franchise, more about the films. I didn't mind Lightyear as much as most people, but I wasn't excited for Toy Story 5 despite Andrew Stanton coming back, even though he's a great director. But the premise is involving toys versus electronics, like iPads, smartphones, the one I'm recording right now, computers. Like, oh, okay. You caught my attention. Yeah, I like that idea. See, because I don't know any other Toy Story. I don't think has covered that. iPad versus toys. That's a new perspective you could add about what desires more. Something that has all the information with the tap of a button, or something that looks comforting. And so it's something new. It'd be something that I would be thinking about a little bit. It's one of those kinds of ideas. Now, it's debatable if Barbie is an original film or an adaptation of IP. You can ask the Oscars about that, or the Writers Guild of America. But it was not the traditional Barbie movie. It was not one of those straight-to-direct DVD crappy movies. It had a new twist, like about feminism, society between men and women. Why entire gender cannot run an entire system. It would be disastrous for both males and females. That great commentary. And the film was wonderfully made by Greta Gerwig and the cast and crew. It hit over $1 billion, got a lot of Oscar nominations. Everybody loved it. Well, not everybody loved it, but what I'm saying is, when we saw the teaser for Barbie, before then, we're like, well, we have to wait and see, because even though we love Greta Gerwig with Lady Bird and Little Women, we just have to wait and see. But then the teaser came out. It caught my attention. It's a new idea. Oppenheimer. I think Oppenheimer is the greatest event in history. Well, one of the greatest film events in history. Oppenheimer, it could have been a stand-up biopic, but it took the route of JFK, which I recently saw with Kevin Costner. It is a phenomenal, one of the best biopics I've ever seen. Really innovative editing and suspense and tension. Like, it really cares about its topics, and it shows you care from them. And just the way it was edited, as someone has already said, Oppenheimer's an action film, and it was an instant success. Almost $1 billion. It will be $1 billion once it gets re-released, and it has won Best Picture and 6 other Oscars. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a original film. Already has a great premise. Multiverse, even though some people are already tired about it. I knew from day one, once I saw that trailer, it would be better than Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home, because it was distributed by A24, an independent film company with talented filmmakers, and the film exceeded my expectations as well as everyone else's. And already the great idea was just elevated. I mean, there are times when ideas on could have been much more elevated, like Strange World, like as I already mentioned. But what I'm trying to say is the standout ideas that make people interested in movies, not just the property itself. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I personally like it. I know a lot of people are not a fan of it, and that's okay. I completely understand it, but even though I love Indiana Jones, not a lot of people these days know about Indiana Jones, and a lot of people like Harrison Ford's too old. We're going to be relying too much on CGI, not so much on practical. It's not definitely make it stand out, and you know what? It shows, and it became one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. Not as much as the Marvels. It was a sequel to many other things in the MCU, including Captain Marvel. The ideas, I like the Freaky Friday ideas. I think that's pretty cool, but that's not what caught people's attention. Now, story, of course, matters. Story does matter, and of course, in Marvel, it's like they had ideas of stories, I thought, but it just didn't seem like it went well execution wise. But that's just me. That's just me. When you have ideas that capture the audience attention, I'm thinking about Deadpool and Wolverine, where you have Deadpool, Wolverine, two iconic X-Men characters from Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, coming together, and people lost their minds. I mean, as simple as those ideas, you know, yes, it relies on stars, it relies on existing characters, but we haven't seen a clash that looks like that ever. I mean, maybe in comics, but in terms of movie form, I heard they try to do that with X-Men Origins Wolverine, that infamous movie. I've not yet seen that. I don't think I will see it, unfortunately, but I've heard that was very poor. But with Deadpool and Wolverine, from what I've heard, it has done it very well. And it also depends on marketing too, but that's well, I guess it also has to do with marketing, the way it's innovative. Deadpool and Wolverine had a unique marketing campaign. Barbie also had a unique marketing campaign. A lot of movies have traditional marketing in terms of similar vibe trailers. Not unless it's unique. For example, Jordan Peele's Nope trailer, the first one, stands out from a lot of trailers, I thought. Maybe not as much as Girl with the Dragon Tattoo that came out in 2011. You know, that's an interesting teaser it did, you know, with flashy images, you know. But I'm going back off topic. But it's the ideas that catch people's interest, you know. I think a lot more people are talking about Ke Huy Quan going to be in Zootopia 2 more so than Mufasa. I'm not saying which one's better than that. I'm just saying that you just have an idea that people are more that just it's different, because with Mufasa, it was exactly what I expected. And you know, for Zootopia 2, I wasn't thinking too much about reptiles, but I don't think anyone was thinking about Ke Huy Quan, unless people were watching Kung Fu Panda 4 and say, hey, he could be in a Disney movie, could he be in Zootopia? I don't know. Sorry if my thoughts are all over the place. I've been giddy for the past over 12 hours since D23. Thank you for the John Campea show for doing a live stream. I had a blast. It was so great talking, you know, chatting with other people and hearing the announcements. But yeah, shoot, maybe I think once I finish this recording this video. But yeah, I think as soon as I finish recording this video and I look back at it, it's like, oh man, this is all over the place. How am I gonna edit this thing? I'm sorry. I don't have a script with me. I'm doing this cost and run quest thing that I thought of, you know, just sharing them right in front of you. This would be perfect for a second channel, but I'm still experimenting with my channel. I'm trying to do short films. I'm trying to do trailers. But hey, if you like what I'm seeing, I'll do more editorial videos. I got a few ideas. If you like, please like and subscribe, as well as following up on updates. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Also, follow me on Letterboxd too. Great account. A lot of great followers as well. And yeah, thank you so much. And with all that said, have a good night.